Hello everyone, Luis Concepcion here from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 3. As always, here's our disclosures. This content is for educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. All investment involves risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results. So here's our agenda for the week. I'll cover the news, provide a market overview of the indices, and we have 157 companies reporting earnings. Monday is a holiday, and banks kicked us off last week. Some more banks coming up this week as well, but some bigger name ticket items are on the horizon. Here's our week 2 results. Starting off the year pretty good, and we had 12 zones. Four went 4-1, and no entry were 7. Here's our earnings outlook for the week. Like I said, pretty much starting on Tuesday and wrapping things up on Thursday, with a couple of banks reporting on Friday. Went ahead and I updated our wins and losses. Went ahead and added those, and as previously stated, we are 5-1 on the year. Moving into our news, as you can see on Monday, Monday is a holiday, so the U.S. will not be affected. It is a bank holiday, so your transactions will take another extra day to settle this week. If you're pending on anything from Friday, so be mindful of that. The U.S. market will not have any impact. However, for those of you who trade futures and Forex, there might be some opportunities early in the morning as the Canadian dollar has several reports. Moving on to Tuesday, uh, nothing impacting the U.S. markets with them just being opening that will be cause some volatility, and then we have a couple of good earnings in the morning. For those of you trading the British pound, be mindful that there is a report in the overnight session, and then both pre-market and after market. Then moving on to Wednesday, be mindful that the president is scheduled to speak prior to the market opening, so you want to be cognizant of whatever he has to say with upcoming changes with the government shutdown, funding the government. And last week he did speak highly about not signing the crypto bill. So that might be interesting if that's back on the table and makes crypto go right back up as we hit some key levels last week that we entered. Australian dollar will be impacted after hours. So be mindful of that for those of you trading futures and forex. And pretty much, with the exception of what POTUS is saying on Wednesday, we probably won't have any we won't have any volatility until Thursday, as we have key reports pre-market, and that should drive our day for Thursday. Everything that's being reported on the Japanese yen after hours is all tentative. So no biggie there. And then Friday, we have our PMI reports 15 minutes after the open. So that may be our volatility in addition to what earnings will be providing us. All right, moving into the charts and starting with the SPX. As you can see, last week we had one dip earlier in the week, but we were pretty much sideways. There is no supply in the S&P 500. Our demand level still staying at 67.17.60 to 65.58.34. With earnings continuing and additional news this week, we might have some extra volatility this week, as previously stated. Moving into the Dow Jones or the DJX, pretty much sideways environment as well here, not making all new time highs since that 496. We'll see if we reach that 500 or that 50,000 level. In the futures, no demand until 475.92 to 472.11. Moving on to the Nasdaq being the weakest out of all of them. As you can see, we still have not breached this level. It's held several times. So Nasdaq again trading sideways, however, weaker than all the other indices. That supply remaining 25,882.12 to 26,206.45. The catalyst this week bringing and holding the Nasdaq down was Apple. 24,781.20 to 24,540.95 on the demand side. Moving on to the rut. Rut looking the strongest out of all of them. For no supply in the rut. First demand zone I have for you is at 2585.07 to 2559.54. That is a change from last week. Now, moving into the earnings, first thing I have for you is going to be 3M. They are reporting Tuesday morning prior to the bell. First level I have for you on the demand side is 155.48 to 149.20. You can see that supply starts at 162.27 to 184.03. Just understand that this is a macro supply level and this is a daily time frame, so you still have pretty much a 7 point move here in the event this level works. If you want to be more conservative, your level is going to be at 139.46 to 134.75 on the demand side. If I'm not mistaken, they have a plus or minus 10 for the week. Yeah, they have a plus minus 9.6 for the week. So expect a move of $10 on Tuesday morning. Moving on to FITB. First demand zone I have for you is 45.75 to 44.93. No supply. Oh, I stand corrected. There is a supply zone up here. 53.18 to 57.44. Next company I have for you is DHI. On the demand side, 133.71 to 128.49. On the supply side, 178.34 to 184.40. Next company I have for you is going to be US Bancorp. On the supply side, 61.83 to 63.67. On the demand side, 49.42 to 48.63. Next company I have for you is Fastnell, ticker symbol FAST. On the demand side, 38.55 to 36.61. On the supply side, 49.16 to 50.61. Next company is going to be Key. On the demand side, 18.65 to 18.24. No supply. Netflix, I'm not going to cover Netflix. That is for our members who are elite members who get the Max 7 on a weekly basis. So if you want more information on that, feel free to check out the website and see how you can subscribe for weekly updates on the Magnificent 7 and how to trade those. Next company I have for you is going to be Zion. On the supply side, 62.63 to 66.88. And on the demand side, 36.59 to 33.59. Next is going to be Johnson & Johnson, that has been on a tear this year since our level earlier on in the beginning of the year. No supply in Johnson & Johnson as they just made all new time highs this past week. And then on the first demand zone I have for you is going to be at 188.91 to 184.34. Next is going to be Charles Schwab. So all new time highs on Charles Schwab again. First demand zone I have for you is sitting down here at 81.53 to 79.28. That is a pretty far level, so we're gonna go ahead and utilize this level right here, 93.24 to 91.39. Next is going to be Ally Bank. As you can see, this supply zone has worked already, so utilize it with caution. However, that's the last place we turn from, which is going to be the 46.55 to 47.62 on the supply side. On the demand side is going to be 35.69 to 34.29. Next company is Make My Trip, ticker symbol MMYT. On the demand side, 67.86 to 63.91. On the supply side, 92.09 to 98.52. Next is going to be Procter & Gamble, ticker symbol PG. On the demand side, 135.36 to 130.85. On the supply side, 162.04 to 163.92. Next is going to be Abbott Laboratories, ticker symbol ABT. On the demand side, 114.70 to 110.80. On the supply side, 139.31 to 142.78. Next is going to be McCormick, ticker symbol MKC. On the demand side, 61.94 to 59 even. And on the supply side, 85.39 to 87.67. Next is going to be Intel, ticker symbol INTC. Sitting in this, just realize this is a monthly supply zone. As you can see, we have some serious selling here. Utilize this with caution, depending if the government is still funding Intel. It may breach it. However, this level is still intact, 46.88 to 51.21, and that's going to be your supply level. And then your demand level is going to be starting at 30. As a matter of fact, let's change this. This level has already worked to that 37.49 to 35.77. In the event of an overshoot, you have another level here at 30.12 to 28.70. Next is going to be ISRG. On the demand side, 466.99 to 456.39. And on the supply side, 590.17 to 609.70. Be cognizant that this level has worked already. And we've had a nice drawdown from this level. So just utilize this with caution in the event we pop back up here, but that level is still intact. Next company I have for you is going to be Alcoa. No, no supply in Alcoa. First demand level I have for you is 55.02 to 52.07. Next is Alaskan Airlines, ticker symbol ALK. On the demand side, 43.09 to 41.62. In the event of overshoot, 36.47 to 34.01. On the supply side, 64.86 to 66.89, which is the last supply level we fell from. Next company and last company I have for you this week is going to be Booz Allen Hamilton. On the demand side, 51.83 to 42.27. That ticker symbol is BAH. And on the supply side, 126.69 to 130.91. It's gonna do it for me in the charts this week. Hopefully that was informative. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to check out the website or book a call on with me. And then if anything else you want to cover, you can feel free to shoot an email. And then lastly but not least, till next time, happy trading.